Imperial City. A man warns the soldiers not to enter the bedroom no matter what they hear. Inside the bedroom, the queen is playing with a creature. Man wants to take a peek and enters inside. The queen gets up and uses her tails to tear the man and eat him. On the bed, the creature turns to human form and tells the queen to maintain her diet. She answers that she has to stay healthy to treat the king's body. Outside the Imperial City, the warriors from the city of Ziki are rushing towards the Imperial City to save the elder of the invisible clan. The leader gives the instructions and asks warrior Lei not to use his powers inside the Imperial City. A bird flies above them, and while they react to it, the vehicle door opens and an old man flies inside. One of the warriors attack the old man, but his sword becomes twisted by the old man's energy. The leader addresses the old man as Master Zhang and asks for forgiveness for his subordinate's mistake. Zhang laughs and fixes the sword and walks inside. He motivates them and uses his magic vision to tell the king's secret. When he was young, the king sold his body to the Black Dragon to rule the world, and when the three sons unite, the Black Dragon will descend upon the world to cover the world in darkness. The leader asks Zhang why the elder from the invisible clan was kidnapped, and Zhang mentions that only the elder knows the secret to killing the Black Dragon. Zhang tells them to focus on the mission, and that he will be there to help them. Lei says that they will win, and Zhang flies out to sit on his giant stork and flies ahead. Back in the Imperial City, celebrations are underway for the king's birthday. The warriors reach the outer wall and enter through the sewers. They reach the imperial prison and head inside. Right now, the queen comes out to greet the king and tells him that she has prepared a gift for him. She waves her hand and the floor before them opens to reveal a man chained. Down below, the warriors are ready to start their mission, and Lei uses his senses to find the invisible tribe's location. He jumps ahead to fight the guards, and the other warriors stop the outer guards from entering. The warriors look inside the empty cell and introduce themselves, asking the invisible tribe to come out. Soon, glowing eyes open up and the invisible tribe people reveal themselves. The prisoners mention that their powers are blocked inside the cell and mention that their elder was taken away by the king. Since their main goal is to free the elder, and since the warriors struggle to break the cell, Lei decides to use his powers to break the cell. This triggers the wings in the General Leopard's room, and he heads out to capture the intruders. The adults of the invisible tribe ask the warriors to save their children, and that they will use their powers to save their elder. Unfortunately, they are soon ambushed by the guards who rain them with arrows. The warriors use their shields to form a defensive wall to protect the children. Sensing that they might not escape if this continues, the children activate their powers to teleport them and the warriors to the sewers leading outside. The warriors form a shield boat and take the children. General Leopard reaches the spot, and the warriors leave right away as Lei and the leader guard their back to fight the general. Lei and the leader fight the general as he tries to stop them. The warriors cross the floodgate, and Lei uses his powers to demolish the flood fate and stops the general from following them. The leader guides the warriors to take the children outside, as he and Lei head back to save the elder. Above, the king does not care about the elder, but the queen reveals that the elder's eyes have the power to show the future. Interested by this, the king goes down to tell the elder to show him his future. The king watches himself perish in the vision and mentions he doesn't like what he sees. The elder mentions that the future can never be changed, and angered to hear this, the king and queen order to gouge out the elder's eyes. But the elder activates his time freeze spell, stopping everyone except the king. Master Zhang comes down and frees the elder, but he fails to notice that the queen is a demon fox, who is not affected by the time freeze. As Zhang is speaking with the king, the queen moves her tail to launch a surprise attack on Zhang. Zhang noticed this at the last second and defends himself. He moves around to escape from her attacks and ends up face to face with the queen, who tries to seduce Zhang, but Zhang jumps back to fall into her trap. The queen places the reverse aging curse on Zhang, and soon, the time freeze deactivates. The elder takes out one of his eyes and throws it to distract the queen. Lei and the leader soon reach the spot, and Lei attacks the queen with his powers, but she repels it back and Zhang saves him. The elder offers himself and elder calls his stork. They jump on it as the queen kills the elder. Zhang manages to get hold of the elder's other eye and they escape on the stork. They soon reach Ziki and the other warriors make it as well, carrying the children. At night, Zhang uses the moonlight to activate the elder's eyes to reveal the secret to killing the Black Dragon. But because of the queen's curse, Zhang becomes younger and reveals about the curse to the commander and mentions that if he continues using his powers, he will lose his spirit and vanish. At the same time, the queen uses the other eye to reveal the secret as well. She sees the sword of light being carried by the golden dragon in the vision. At this time, the commander who sees the same tells Zhang that it is only a legend and the sword does not exist. Zhang tells the commander to believe, and only then they can fight to save the world. At the same time, the Queen orders General Leopard to get hold of the Sword of Light and bring it to her. The next day, Zhang calls for Lei to give him the map of the mind, and tasks Lei to go find the Sword of Light. Zhang then activates the Spring of Life and a red glowing ball pops out moving around them. Zhang casts his spell, open the ball, and a baby named Nala comes out. Zhang says that Nala will accompany Lei in finding the Sword of Light and starts playing with Nala. Zhang activates his powers before Nala escapes, and Zhang tells him to let it be since Nala will find him later. Zhang tells Lei to pick up 3 pouches from the Spring of Life since they will be helpful in his journey, and Lei soon heads out of the city. By this time at the Imperial Palace, General Leopard is playing with a woman. He places his mind control equipment on her and orders her to find Lei. We find Lei walking around mindlessly, and a talking plant pops out from one of the pouches Zhang gave him. The plant tells that it will guide him the right way to his destination. Lei finds it helpful and asks it to show him right away towards the Sword of Light. The plant brags that it possesses the scent to attract creatures, but Lei laughs it off. Soon they hear a baby laughing and find Nala stuck in the ground. Lei walks down to pull him out, but Nala reveals more hands and start beating Lei. But their fight is interrupted by the huge desert centipede that chases after the plant. Nala and Lei take chances in holding on the plant and get chased by the centipede. In the end, Lei uses his powers to kill the centipede and saves Nala and the plant. But instead of thanking Lei, Nala steals one of his pouches. The plant mentions that pouch actually belonged to the baby. As Nala opens it, a baby merfolk pops out. Nala starts poking it, and the merfolk spews green haze at Nala, which makes Nala turn into his adult form. Soon, we find that Lei has bound the adult Nala using the plant, and asks him to accompany Lei in finding the Sword of Light. But Nala will only accept the deal if Lei helps him to find his treasure called the Fire Wheels. Lei accepts, and they soon reach the Valley of Pillars. Nala says that the map is broken, but right then they warp through a portal and find a fortress in the distance. They enter the place and find an earthbender playing with his treasure. Lei wants to ask him for directions, but the earthbender asks them to be quiet. Seeing the treasure, Nala jumps to take it, and the earthbender starts attacking the two. Lei asks Nala to stop, but Nala continues to attack, and the earthbender uses his skills to counter everything. Seeing them activate their ultimate moves, Lei activates his powers and jumps in between to stop them. The backlash causes them to fall out of the portal, and the earthbender undergoes a transformation to reveal his true form. He reveals that his name is Yang, and that he was trapped inside the portal by the Fox Queen. The plant asks Lei to hand over the last pouch to Yang, and when Yang gets close, the pouch moves and falls to the ground. A dog comes out of the pouch, and Yang calls out to it as Sky Howler, which he lost before he was trapped. The plant asks Yang to join them, but Yang mentions that he needs to find his gold armor and go after the queen. However, the plant tells Yang to go to the city of Ziki when the 3 suns converge. After Yang leaves, Lei takes out the map, and the plant says that their next task is to find the porter boat, which has the power to take them anywhere they want just by thinking about the place. By night, Lei and Nala reach the marketplace of the outskirts, and they split up to look for the porter boat. Here, Lei comes across the girl General Leopard sent after him, but only we know that, and Lei uses his powers to make her happy to play with the light butterflies. The girl approaches Lei and introduces herself as Blue, and when Lei touches her, all his memories get sucked by her helmet, and General Leopard views it at the palace. Blue runs aside to get her next instructions, and the plant tells Lei not to get distracted by the girl. The plant points him towards a tent, and Lei enters it to find a woman inside. Before he asks her about the boat, the woman tells Lei to look inside the pot of water in front of him. Lei immediately jumps through a portal to see a younger Zhang and the woman discussing to elope together. Even though she offered him the porter boat, Zhang rejects her and leaves. Since then, the lady has been waiting for Zhang to return to her. The lady casts her spell and hypnotizes Lei to fall for her, but the plant interferes and releases him. Lei wakes up to find the lady still meditating, and the plant suggests that they find the porter boat and steal it before the lady wakes up. Right then, Blue barges in and wakes the lady only for her to attack them. In the middle of the chaos, Blue manages to steal the boat, and they start running, seeing the lady activate her attack. Nala watches them run and joins them as he escapes the lady's attacks. Soon, they reach the cliff, and the plant tells Blue to throw the boat into the water to activate it. They jump onto the now enlarged boat, and the plant tells Nala to think of the place and activate the boat. After a while, Blue mentions to Nala that the boat is headed towards the Merfolk Palace, and they will not be able to find the Sword of light anytime soon. Since neither of them mentioned about the sword to Blue, Nala catches her and asks what her real goal is, but the little merfolk from the pouch pops out to spew the haze and turns Nala back to his baby form. As Nala sleeps, Lay asks her to explain, but Blue mentions that her memories get erased every day, and all that she remembers now is that she should follow Lay and find the Sword of Light. Intrigued by her background, Lay lets her tag along. Soon, General Leopard activates her helmet to update about the mission. Sometime later, Blue wakes up and Lay questions her to see whether she remembers him or not. He finds that what she mentioned is the truth and lets her stay. By night, they reach the point below the Merfolk Palace, and the little merfolk jumps around in excitement. The Merfolk King sends the octopus to get the little one back, but Nala gets captured as well. Before Lay jumps in after Nala, the plant pope out mentioning that this was fated, and that Nala will come to find him soon. The porta boat soon ascends the sky and changes its direction. Down in the Merfolk Palace, the king confronts Nala to return the little merfolk, but Nala causes chaos and almost ends up destroying the palace. The king surrenders and Nala asks him to return his treasure. The king reveals 2 fire rings, and as they fly back to Nala, he stands on them and returns to his original form. Before he flies away, Nala turns to return the little merfolk back to the king and leaves. At this time, Lay and Blue enter the fallen kingdom of the Wind Tribe. As soon as they enter, Lay finds the wrecked place to be familiar. He identifies a totem and remembers that this was his hometown. All his memories come back and Lay reveals that his hometown was attacked by the kingdom when he was 6 and everyone was killed. Despite being from the Wing Tribe, Lay's trauma has made him unable to use his wings, but Lay feels the urge to change that and uses his powers to join their totem. This causes the Sword of Light to reveal itself. However, unfortunately, they are attacked by the Leopard General. Lay is confused as to how they found his location, and Blue apologizes for having betrayed him, but Lay doesn't have time to deal with her and goes to fight the soldiers going after the Sword of Light, but Lay gets captured by the general. Blue pleads the general to let Lay live. For sure, the general reveals that he will just erase her memories, so Blue goes after the Sword of Light, and as she grabs it, the platform explodes, and this causes everyone to fall from the sky. Lay catches Blue and overcomes his trauma to spread his wings and soars above. Blue thanks Lay for treating her nicely and showing her happiness. She asks Lay to let her see the sunset one last time, but as soon as Lay ascends the sky, he turns to find that Blue has turned into a wooden doll. Lay leaves her in his hometown in a place with a good view of the sunset, and leaves with the Sword of Light. As they near the city of Ziki, Nala joins them, and the queen unleashes the army for war. The commander and his son prepare for the counterattack, and the commander says that Zhang will use his formation to destroy them. We find Zhang using his crystals to launch huge pillars to destroy the enemy ships, but the commander soon finds that the formation is not working well and heads inside only to find that Zhang has become much younger. Commander orders his son to take the troops prepare for battle, and right then, Lay and Nala find Yang and his dog in golden armor running towards the city. The city's wall is breached by the enemy's ships, and soon a fearsome battle begins. Both sides start losing their forces, and Yang's dog comes to take Zhang out of the wreck. The city's commander falls from the top, and Lay flies in right on time to save him. Lay leaves the Sword of Light with the commander, and at this time, the queen uses her powers to awaken the fallen general and turns him into a hideous monster. Lay joins Nala and Yang, and they find Zhang turning even younger as time goes by. Right then, General Leopard, who is now a monster, reaches the city, and the 3 start engaging him in battle. Despite the initial setback, the 3 start cooperating by using their powers to take him down. During this, the dog takes Zhang to the Spring of Life, but the queen teleports one of her tails to capture Zhang, who is now an 8-year-old. Outside, the monster throws the rocks to take down the city commander. The commander tasks his son to take the Sword of Light to the Spring of Life to awaken it and dies soon after. As the commander's son runs inside, Yang brings down the wall, and this causes the monster to collapse inside near the Spring of Life. The commander's son notices the 3 suns converge in the sky, and back in the Imperial City, the Black Dragon awakens, and this causes the Spring of Life to glow. The commander's son jumps inside the spring, and the monster controlled by the queen goes to destroy the place. But right then, the commander's son jumps out in golden light and slices the monster in half. As the monster vanishes, the commander's son reveals himself to be the Golden Dragon, and he points the Sword of Light towards the Imperial City. In the next scene, he uses the sword to make the city of Ziki fly. In the post-credits scene, we see the queen welcoming the Black Dragon and presents to him Zhang, who has become a baby. The Black Dragon laughs in excitement since there is no other power against him.